My name is Nicholas Gagnon and I am the Acting Public Information Officer for Halifax Regional Police. Today we have an update on the stabbing incident that occurred yesterday at the C.P. Allen High School in Bedford. Chief Dan Kinsella will begin with opening comments. Superintendent Derrick Boyd will then be providing an update on the investigation. After their updates, we will take questions from the reporters who are in the room and then those who are on the phone. This press conference is also being live streamed on our Facebook page. I'd like to invite the Chief to the podium. Chief.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Yesterday, at approximately 9:20 a.m., police received a complaint related to a stabbing incident at C.P. Allen High School in Bedford. Officers responded to the scene and took one person, a youth, a student at the school, into custody at approximately 9:31 a.m. Officers located 3 people with stab wounds. 2 of the 3 who were stabbed were school employees, and the third was a suspect. All were transported to hospital, the 2 employees in serious but stable condition, and the suspect with non-life-threatening injuries. We wish them all a quick recovery. The school was placed in hold and secure and was closed for the remainder of the day. We completed a search of the school and worked with school administration on safely releasing students and staff from the property. We will continue to maintain a presence in the school as the investigation continues. Later in the news conference, you will hear about the ongoing investigation, and we will take some of your questions. We will provide information to the extent we can with the ongoing investigation. But before that, I would like to make a few comments. An incident of this nature is traumatic, not just for those involved, but everyone in the community. But it is important to remember that this incident does not define our community. It does not define our schools. It is an isolated incident, and the quick, effective, multi-partner response that unfolded yesterday didn't just happen by coincidence. It speaks to the strong partnerships we have in place and the effectiveness of various partners coming together to handle a joint crisis. The situation was brought under control quickly, and we applaud the quick actions of school staff and first responders who were at their professional and personal best in the response. I also want to thank HRP's Victim Services team, who continues to provide important support in the immediate follow-up, along with school psychologists, counselors, and social workers, and a number of others who are doing tremendous work to provide support and help the school community heal. While we are thankful, we are not standing here talking about a much worse outcome. We are deeply aware of the impact this incident has had on many young people and their families and the school community. We are thinking of everyone who was directly involved and all others affected by this incident. And we wish everyone who was injured a speedy recovery. There are many questions members of the public have, and we ask that people avoid speculation. We can assure you that the investigation is ongoing, and we are looking at every aspect, and we will conduct a full and thorough investigation. While many aspects of the incident, like this and the associated details, are in the public eye, we ask that collectively we afford privacy to those who are directly impacted as they cope with what they experienced. Now I will turn it over to Superintendent Derrick Boyd to provide an update on the investigation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Derrick Boyd. I am the Superintendent of Patrol for the Halifax Regional Police. Halifax Regional Police have charged the youth in relation to yesterday's stabbing incident at Charles P. Allen High School in Bedford. The 15-year-old youth is facing the following charges: 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of possession of a weapon dangerous to public peace, 2 counts of carrying a concealed weapon, possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of a weapon knowing it is unauthorized, and mischief. The investigation is ongoing, and investigators are asking anyone with information about this incident to call police or Crime Stoppers. Now I'll ask Constable Gagnon to come to the podium to moderate the question and answer portion of today's press conference.
Thank you, Superintendent Boyd. We are now ready to take questions. We'll start by taking questions from those who are in the room. In the interest of time, we ask that each media representative keep it to 2 questions each. We will then move to the phone lines, where my colleague Natasha Pace will moderate the questions from those who are on the phone. We ask those who are on the phone to keep their phone lines on mute so that we can hear each question. We can start, Bruce.
Is anyone able to tell us the status of the suspect now? Where is he? How he's doing?
He has attended court today, and the courts are going to make a decision whether he's held or not, but he did attend court today.
Has he been offered mental health support at all? Is that something?
I'm not aware if that was done at court today or not.
Okay.
Where will he be detained?
If he is detained, I'm not sure of the court outcome today, but if he is, it would be at a youth facility.
In Nova Scotia?
Yes.
Can you say what the prohibited weapon is?
The prohibited weapon?
Yes.
That's part of the investigation at this time, so I can't answer that at this point in time.
Is the investigation going to include a review, or does the Halifax Regional Police have a role in reviewing school security at CP Allen and other schools in the municipality, given the nature of this incident?
So we work very closely with HRCE. We have our community response officers, regularly in their schools. Any incident like this we take extremely serious. We do some of this prep work in advance through regular, training and communication with the schools. So certainly that will be an aspect of the investigation post and is actually ongoing once they have an opportunity to heal. We will have those conversations, do a debrief of the situation, and look for anything that might have been done differently. But as I mentioned in my opening comments, the swift response, the quick decision making, not only by school staff but also responding first officers, certainly brought this to a very quick conclusion.
Are you able to reveal the staff members' names?
No, not at this point.
What can you tell us about the student's wound? Is it self-inflicted?
So, we are currently investigating this as a youth court matter, and the charges are also currently before the court, and we won't be commenting on that particular aspect.
Okay, so we will now move to the phone lines. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nick. We have 3 reporters on the phone lines with questions this afternoon, and we'll start with Mike Tutton with Canadian Press. Mike, if you have a question, you can go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, and I have, perhaps this can't count as a question. Superintendent Boyd, how do we spell your name, please?
Derrick is D-E-R-R-I-C-K and Boyd B-O-Y-D.
Thank you, sir. I think this is a question really for the chief. Statistics have recently been released by Nova Scotia's government that show violent incident reports are rising fairly dramatically in Nova Scotia schools. Some 13,776 physical violent incidents have been recorded from primary to grade 12 during 21-22, up from 11,000 the year before. What
So thanks, Michael, for the question. You know, first and foremost, we work in partnership closely with HRCE. I mentioned one of my earlier responses that we do training exercises, and we are in regular contact, you know, rehearsing what to do in such situations, and various situations, actually. As far as the, you know, the specific statistics as it relates to what's happening in schools, I don't have that quite handy, but what I can tell you is every incident of violence within a school, you know, we take very, very seriously. We respond quickly. We keep the lines of communication open with the schools and do that on a regular basis. Beyond that, I would say is that this particular incident is an incident that is very uncommon. You know, the level and the impact and, you know, the details that were involved, and obviously can't share a lot of them with you today because the investigation is ongoing. But we are cognizant of, you know, what's happening in our schools, and fundamentally, we work in very close partnership with HRCE and others to make sure that we provide the safest environment that we can for our youth that are in schools.
Just as a follow-up to that, as the man with sort of the big picture, would you be in accord that in Halifax, your jurisdiction, violence is on the uptick in schools? Do you have a sense of that without, obviously, at the top of your head, any numbers, but do you think the trend is true in Halifax as well?
Well, I think we're seeing indicators across the country that would cause us to be concerned, and we are paying attention to that. I wouldn't say it's a specifically Halifax problem. I would say it's a larger issue that we have to pay concerted attention to, and making sure that we are providing appropriate and safe environments for our children to learn in.
And a question for Superintendent Boyd. Eyewitness accounts speak of a staff member carrying a broom or something, aiding in the apprehension of this young man. Is that correct? And what would you have to say about that assistance?
Well, it's still under investigation, and I can't comment. This is before the youth court right now at this point in time. But as part of the investigation, we wouldn't be able to speak to that.
And do you have any comments on my wider question on youth violence in schools?
No, I'll just refer to the chief's answer on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We can move on now to Andrew Rankin with the Chronicle Herald. Andrew, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you. Just hearing from some students and people at the school that the incident started with the boy first harming himself and staff members were hurt after trying to intervene. Can you respond to that? Is there any truth to this?
It's still under investigation at this point in time. It's a youth court matter, and I couldn't respond to that at all.
Did you have a follow-up question, Andrew?
Yes, just wondering if police were aware that this boy may have had mental health issues. Was he on the police's radar? Was he known to police?
Again, as it is a youth court matter before the courts, we can't comment on that aspect.
Thank you, Andrew. We can move on now to Dan Alstrand with City Halifax. Dan, did you have a question?
Yeah, my
Sorry, I was
question is
just wondering
for...
who was speaking there.
Superintendent Derrick Boyd was speaking the last answer.
Thanks very much.
My question is for Chief Kinsella. Chief, chatting with parents with kids at CP Allen, many are worried about their kids' safety, both on the ground and inside the school itself. What assurances can you give to parents and to students at CP Allen?
Yeah, and you know, an incident such as this, with the magnitude of it, and as uncommon as it is, and it does bring a level of trauma and a level of fear and certainly a level of concern to the broader community, but parents particularly. Their parents want to know that their children are safe and they're in a good learning environment. And I can tell you, as I've already mentioned, we work very closely with HRCE, and we're committed to safety. We will review the situation. I think it's important for conduits of information to continue to remain open. If somebody sees some behavior or something that's out of normal, to bring that information forward. Our school resource officers are always present. They're available in the schools, and they will continue to be there. So, as far as we know, this is an isolated incident. There was a quick response by the school, by the police, and we will follow up accordingly.
Dan, did you have a follow-up question you'd like to go ahead with?
I do. Chief, earlier in your statement, you said that officers are still at the school. How long are you planning to keep officers at CPL?
That's a good question, and thank you for that. This is going to be a day-by-day consideration. We're in close contact with HRCE. You may have noticed they decided to keep the school closed for today. My understanding is that it will reopen tomorrow, but things can change. We have an environment and a situation where people, the community, students, parents, staff need some time to heal, need some time to process, some time to consider everything that occurred. So we'll be there as long as we need to be, and we will do that in conjunction discussion with HRCE staff and administration.
Thank you. That wraps up questions from the phone lines at this point.
Just one more quick one. There's a video that's being widely circulated on social media that appears to show the arrest of the young man yesterday. Are you able to vouch for the veracity of that? Can you confirm that that's in fact what we're looking at?
I'm aware of the video. I'm not aware of any confirmation that it is actually related to this incident. What I can see is a reasonable I would say it certainly seems to be. However, that will be reviewed as part of the broader investigation, and those confirmation facts may come out at some point in the future.
Okay, great.
Okay, just before we go, I just want to say one more thing. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate your attendance here today. I would just stress, please don't speculate on any of the evidence. There's a lot of information online. Mr. Frisco just advised us of that. Let's keep that in mind. Let's be respectful of privacy. Let's be respectful of the investigation. We will follow the evidence, and we will come out with the appropriate outcome when this is concluded. Thank you very much for your attendance.